Hello, friend, and welcome back to my Abiding Journal. My name is Kelsey Lee if you are new, and today I am very excited to bring you my Christian favorites. I just shared a video all about my journaling favorites, so if you love to journal and be creative, you definitely should check out that video. And I wanted to bring back a Christian favorites and a Christian gift guide for you. This is actually my fourth edition of a Christian gift guide. I had created other videos in the past over time with some of my recommendations for Christian gifts based on my favorite things. And I wanted to bring it back today to share with you some new favorites and also some classic oldies that I continue to really enjoy. And I'm so excited because I'm actually collaborating with a friend of mine and a real life friend, a friend from my church. Her name is Hope Noble, and she is a mom of 3 little boys, and she has a wonderful small business called Noble Motherhood, which is also the name of her new YouTube channel, which I will have linked in the description for you. And we are collaborating on this gift guide so that when you finish watching my video and get some ideas, you can head over to her video and her channel for even more ideas. And I really want to just encourage you, if you are a mom especially, I would encourage you to subscribe to her channel, leave her a comment letting her know that I sent you. And I'll also talk about her shop as well in a little bit because that is going to be one of my favorite items. I do have my trusty iPad here with some notes just to help me keep things in order because I'm basically just surrounded by tons of favorites right now. A lot of them are books. I probably should do an entire video on books in the future. That will happen, some Christian favorites, and even just a recap of all the Christian books I read this year. That will be coming to you in the future, so make sure that you subscribe to my channel if that interests you. Before we start talking about all of my Christian favorites, I do always feel it's very important to start a Christian gift guide, a Christmas season favorites, by just taking a moment to remind us what the season is really about, what Advent is about. It is about expecting and knowing that Jesus has come into this world. He came as a baby in a manger, predicted by prophecies years and years ago, and he came to save the world from our sin, you and me. It is not about the gifts under the tree, as lovely as they are. It is about the gift of Jesus. And so I just want to encourage us this Christmas season to slow down and really sit with that idea that as much noise as there is around us, as much commercialization and consumerism that is around us, even as I'm about to share with you some items that, yes, are consumer products that you will pay money for, I want us to remember that you do not need any of these things. You only need Jesus. That is all you need this Christmas season. So these are great, lovely extras, but my heart for you today is to know that Jesus loves you, and that is all you need to have a wonderful Christmas season. So with our hearts now properly centered on what's important here, we can now turn to some of my favorites from the last few years. So let's start with the first item I have for you that I think would make a wonderful gift to somebody who is wanting to get more into reading their Bible. And this is actually something that was gifted to me last year, and that is A Beautiful Year in the Bible, the 52-week Bible study for women. This was published by Alabaster, and as it says, it is a beautiful book for a beautiful year in the Bible. There are these gorgeous illustrations throughout in these really just beautiful, rich colors. I absolutely love all of these illustrations. So there is a theme for each week. This one is God's Unbreakable Promises for week 4. And then there is a synopsis and a reading plan for day 1 through 7 for that week of different sections of the Bible to read related to that theme. And then there also is a additional reading that is basically a reflection for you to think on. And then following that reflection, there is a few prompts for journaling. So definitely check out A Beautiful Year in the Bible. So I have a lot more books to share, which we'll get to in a minute. But before we dive into those, I want to share with you that is not two, two small businesses. That was like, that scene in Shrek where he's like, pick number 3, my lord. Two. That is the number 2. So 2 small businesses that I want to share with you. The first one is, I'm considering her a friend. We've never officially met, but I'm always responding to her newsletters because it's honestly a little freaky to me sometimes how much we have in common. And her name is Patsy Shaw. Patsy is a Christian artist who creates some of the most beautiful Christian artwork. I absolutely love her style and designs. I have a piece in my home that is one of her hymn paintings where she does a beautiful floral over top of a hymn song sheet, and it is so gorgeous. She has all different ones that you can choose from, so I highly, highly recommend checking those out. She also did an entire series on a verse from each book of the Bible. She has a gorgeous calendar for the new year that I'm interested in. And she also has these new tea towels that I'm rather obsessed with and I think are going in my cart this Christmas season. She has gorgeous ornaments for the tree, and I just adore her style. And even better than having a beautiful style of art is that it's all to the glory of God. Everything she does, it is so strongly evident that everything she does is for the glory of Jesus. So I highly recommend you check out her shop. She is running some sales, I believe, for the holidays. And I'm so grateful to her because she has offered a discount code exclusively for you and our community. So if you use My Abiding Journal 15 at checkout, you will get 15% off your order, which is huge. I can't stress that enough. When small business owners give you a discount, it is so much more significant than you seeing a discount at Amazon or Walmart. It means a lot when a small business owner is willing and able to basically give up some of their very precious and hard to come by income to be able to be generous to their customers. And I'm so grateful for that. So definitely take advantage of her discount. Let her know that I sent you, and I hope that you find something just lovely to share with someone this Christmas season. I'm confident you will. And then the next small business I want to share with you is Noble Motherhood. And that, of course, is Hope's small business. And here it is. So, Hope creates all natural skincare. And this is my routine every single evening. This is my system. It is simple, it is effective. Do I look like I'm glowing by the Christmas tree? If so, it is all thanks to Hope and her incredible skincare. Simple, simple ingredients, all natural, just using what God gave us from the earth to put into our skin and on our bodies is so important. And I just adore it. I really have noticed a huge difference in my skin. I used to have breakouts and like a lot of just kind of red areas from acne as, a middle schooler, as we all experienced, that I swear just lingered because I was one of those people who couldn't leave well enough alone. But my skin has improved drastically since starting her skincare routine. And it's so simple, as I said. So I have her facial cleansing honey, which I put on in the shower. Honey is actually extremely good for your skin. I also have her witch hazel facial toner, which is almost empty. And then after I shower, I basically just wipe my face off with this to remove any excess makeup or anything that is lingering. And then I finish with the best product. If you're going to get any of the products, I definitely recommend this one, and that is her all natural moisturizer. This moisturizer is just simply cocoa butter, coconut oil, beeswax, and essential oils of lavender, peppermint, tea tree, and cedarwood. That's it. That is all that is in here, but it's very high quality where she sources it from. The combination, like I wouldn't even know what level of these ingredients to put together to create what she creates here. It's just so good. And you could spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on high-end skincare from these big box stores and businesses and keep striving to find something that works, or you can just go to a small Christian business run by a very sweet Christian mom who is selling her all natural moisturizer and give that a go. I really think that you will enjoy it. This is probably my fourth, maybe my fifth moisturizer that I've purchased from her because this is my routine now. Like really, once I find something that works, I don't change. And this works. And so I hope that you will shop from her because I never want her to go out of business because I want to keep using her skincare. And she very, very kindly has provided a discount code for all of you as well. So I will have that here on the screen. So very generous of you, Hope, to offer that to our community. So definitely use the code and try this skincare. And then the final thing I want to share with you from her shop is she also has a heart for women who are postpartum and are experiencing motherhood for the first time or just trying to get, back to themselves after having given birth. And she has some really nice care packages with some of her skin products. She has like a bath soak for women who are experiencing postpartum. And then she also has this really great ebook for women who are postpartum. And the reason I share that is because I am personally in a season where I swear everybody around me is giving birth. I have so many friends who are pregnant or just had a baby. I think I went to like 10 baby showers this year. The point is that if you know someone this Christmas season who is expecting or maybe just recently had a baby, the postpartum kit with the ebook would be a fantastic gift. So definitely check out these two small businesses by two incredible women. I cannot recommend them enough. And before we move on, I just want to say that everything we talk about will be linked in the video post over on my Patreon. So you will be able to access every link, see all the discount codes in one convenient place when you head over to Patreon. All right, so let's go on to the next category, which is going to be more books. Lots and lots of books I have to share with you. I'll try to go through them pretty rapid fire. Where is it? All right, I had to make a trip to my library because I realized I forgot some of the books I wanted to share. So I actually want to start with some fiction books that are Christian or Christian adjacent, if we can call it that, because I want to stay in the vein of supporting small businesses and people that I actually know. And I have some fantastic books to recommend you by two women that I personally know and know their hearts, and they're just such, again, wonderful Christian women with incredible hearts for God, and you can see that come through in the fiction that they write. And so the first one is actually going to be The Women of Jersey Island, a World War II historical fiction novel by Rachel Dymski. She goes to my church as well and is a fantastic writer. Oh, I wish you all could be friends with her on Facebook because the posts that she writes are incredible. She does have a Substack now, so maybe if I can find that, I'll link it for you. because her writing is just, it's so good. And you see that in this book. If you know someone who loves World War II fiction, or if you yourself love historical fiction, this is definitely one to check out. If you love lyrical writing, her writing is so lyrical and beautiful. The way that she ties things together from the beginning of a chapter to the end of it, it just is my cup of tea. It is great literary fiction. And even though this book is not Christian fiction, so it's not the kind of book that has very overt themes of faith and Christianity, there are very clear undertones because it's written by a Christian. And I personally really love reading books that are not overtly Christian, but are by Christian authors, in part because I think it also makes it more accessible for non-Christians to pick up, read, and enjoy, but still get the heart of a Christian, if that makes sense. So definitely recommend that one. And then for any children in your life or children at heart, I want to recommend this fantastic series by my friend Becca. She has written this middle grade series called Road Trip Rescue. There are 3 books in the series. They are Road Trip Rescue, Road Trip Return, and Road Trip Redemption. And they have the most gorgeous, fun covers for middle schoolers. These would be great books to read aloud to your children. There are very clear Christian themes of trusting in God, of accepting who God made you to be, and just the beauty of who you are and the love that He has for each of us. Basically, Kimmy, the main character in the first book, Road Trip Rescue, she is born with only part of her arm, so her arm is cut off at the elbow. And although the story itself is not autobiographical in any sense, that part of the story is very much Becca's life because she too was born with only part of her arm. And so she really understands and gets into the head of her main character, Kimmy, of what it's like for people to look at you like you're different and to have to go through the growing pains of learning that God loves me just as He made me and that I am beautiful just as He made me. And that is the journey that Kimmy is on. She also is on a journey. Can you hear my stomach grumbling through that mic? It is grumbling so loud. She also is on a journey trying to find her dog who is lost. It's a very heartwarming tale, and I highly recommend it. And then the entire series just continues with the perspective of a different character that you meet in the first book. So this one follows Daniel, and then the last one follows Jada. Truly, if you want good, wholesome books for your children, these are it. Highly, highly recommend. I also wanted to share these books that were actually gifted to me again, I think for Christmas, by my mother-in-law. And that is these poetry books by Brittany Lister, which are so beautiful. The ones I have are Wildflower Pages and Praying Outside. These poems make a really sweet gift because they're really meant to just kind of be picked up and flipped through to just get a reflection for the day, just a few moments of reminding yourself of God's goodness. So let me see if I can find a good one to share. They all are very, very short, maybe 3 to 4 lines each, and are essentially Brittany just jotting down almost like a journal entry, just like a small little reflection on something she's experiencing that day. So this one says, "Love on purpose. All that remains is this soul. So I'm spending my days doing what makes it beautiful, loving deep and loving well." And then this one about nature. "If you are under any illusions about His nature, just look at nature. See how bees carry pollen effortlessly and chameleons change color with each step forward. Perhaps all you need to do to see His kindness is look outside." They're just so simple and beautiful. And then the final book I want to share before I get to more devotionals and Advent books is Rebecca Lyons' Rhythms of Renewal. This is a book I'm currently working through very slowly, which is nice about this book because it really is one that you can just kind of pick up and read a chapter at a time. But I wanted to recommend this book because it is all about trading stress and anxiety for a life of peace and purpose. Who doesn't need that? I think this is a fantastic book to gift at Christmas time because as we are prepping for the new year, this is a great set of reminders of just little practices that we can bring into our day and to our lives to get rid of some of the anxiety that we feel and to just recenter our hearts on what God intended for us. Things as simple as going for walks, eating well, being more mindful with our time, and it is all from a Christian perspective, which I really appreciate. The next books I want to share are Advent and devotional books, which I think always make fantastic gifts at Christmas time to either bring somebody into the Advent season or prep them for the next Advent season, or to give them a new devotional to dig into at the start of the new year. And the one I'm currently working through this Advent season for myself is Hosanna in Excelsis. In Excelsis? In Excelsis. In Excelsis. In Excelsis. That is one of those words that you sing, but then when you try and actually just say it doesn't sound like I'm saying it right. But you'll correct me in the comments, I'm sure, if I'm wrong. So anyways, Hosanna in Excelsis by David and Barbara Lehman. This is hymns and devotions for the Christmas season. It has a beautiful gold foiled cover. And then what I love about this book is that it is essentially hymns for Advent with one a day. And on the left side, you have a history of that hymn with who wrote it and who composed it, which are often two different people. And then a little bit of reflection on what you should think about as you are singing this hymn. And then on the right side, there is literally the music of the hymn. And what I have been doing is I actually found the playlist for this book on Spotify that somebody had created. I was planning on making my own if it didn't already exist, but thankfully somebody already did the work for me. So I've been listening each day as I go through to the hymn for that day and then reading about it. And it's just been a really lovely practice to start my day throughout Advent with listening to a beautiful hymn and reflecting on it. So I can't recommend doing that enough. And then what is also neat, if you are a family that has a piano and has someone who can play the piano in your home, they also have a companion book of piano arrangements for all the hymns that you then could get that as well and play them for yourselves each day instead of listening to the recordings. I think that is such a sweet idea. So highly recommend this one for your Advent season. And I will say, even though you're watching this video after Advent has already begun for this year, Advent goes all the way through Epiphany, so until January 6th. So there's still plenty that you can enjoy if you get this book for the season. The next Advent book I want to share is by Ruth Chow Simmons called Emmanuel, An Invitation to Prepare Him Room at Christmas and Always. If you are not familiar with Ruth, you have to check her out. She is the most amazing artist. Botanical illustrations and paintings that she does, they're just beautiful. I love them so, so dearly. These books are an absolute treat to hold and flip through and enjoy. And her writing is wonderful as well. And these are just very simple devotionals where you have your day, you have a short passage reflection to read from Ruth, and throughout there is beautiful illustrations to accompany it. And then at the end, it has directions to ponder, praise, and pray. So this is a great way to start your Advent mornings as well. And this is actually the one that I read last year and just really enjoyed. And I know that it's one I'll revisit again for future Advents. And then while we're on the topic of Ruth, I also wanted to just share that she has many other devotionals that you could get for someone to enjoy throughout the year. So the ones I have are Grace Laced, Pilgrim, which I love this one. It's all about ways God's character leads us onward. And then Beholding and Becoming might be my favorite. And this one is The Art of Everyday Worship. And again, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. How stunning. It's just so beautiful. It is stunning. And one of the reasons I love these books is because they're not only fantastic to read and enjoy and to do as a daily devotional, but they're fantastic. If you are somebody who, like me, decorates with your books, I'm always decorating with books, then these are so lovely to have. I am always having one of these books with a little holder to prop them open to a page to just have some scripture on display. It's a great way to display art in your home. And the great thing about displaying this kind of art is you can just turn the page and have a completely new painting to display at any given time with beautiful messaging around it as well. So cannot recommend any of these books enough. I think I keep saying that. I can't recommend it enough. I can't. I love it. Okay, so let's see what is next. Okay, so I have two journals to share with you. The first, I just have to mention every time because you know it's my favorite. And so I'll just keep it brief because there's many videos here on my channel where I'm using it and talking about it. Oh, my little prayer card fell out of it. And that is the Growth Book. So this is by Growth Roots Co. It is these beautiful linen covered hardback journals that are dot grid paper. Obviously mine is all filled up. So this is, let's see if I can find a plain, there's a plain page that I haven't filled out yet. And it's just dot grid notebook paper for you to do your sermon notes, faith journaling, Bible study, whatever you like to put into a journal. And then there are little verses scattered throughout as well from scripture. Every single book is prayed over. So this is another example of a small business run by an incredible woman. These are all woman-owned businesses, I'm realizing as well. So that is really fun. Woman-owned, Christian-owned, small businesses. And in the back of the book, after all of the dotted pages, there is also a space for a prayer list. There's a space for God's faithfulness and reflecting on all the ways that your prayers are being answered. And then memory verses, a book of the Bible checklist if you're trying to read the Bible in a year, and then books to read. So really a fantastic journal that is super versatile and is just very high quality. Anybody would love to receive this journal. And if you want to see it even more in depth, definitely check out some of my videos for the Growth Book. The next journal I want to share is one, again, that was gifted to me actually for my birthday one year. And that is this gratitude journal, which is just the most stunning. It is by the Keeping Company. It is called Gratitudes and Beatitudes. And the idea of this journal is that each day you flip to the day's date and then you read and meditate on a passage from the Beatitudes in Matthew, reflect on that, and then over on the right side for that day, you write one thing you are grateful for or are reflecting on. My stomach, I'm so hungry. So that at the end of the year, when you have finished the journal, you will have a full page with one thing you are grateful for from each month for that day. And so I did this last year and really enjoyed the practice. It was just a nice nightly ritual for me before I went to bed. It was wonderful to read a bit of Matthew every single day. And there are really beautiful little illustrations on these pages as well, very simple and kind of fade into the background. And then the act of writing down what you're grateful for, there's so much evidence in science of how helpful it is for us, but it's something God told us long before science was doing all this research in the Bible, right? Be grateful. That is what he encourages us to do over and over again in all circumstances. And this is a great way to help us do exactly that. My next category is experiences and subscriptions. I always think that giving an experience, that especially one that you can do together, is always a fantastic gift idea because you're not contributing to the consumerism of just things that are going to fill up somebody's home. And you also are contributing to the importance of fellowship and being together and just creating quality time with the people you love. And so, two ideas for you. One would be to find a local theater, especially if they are doing a play or musical that has some Christian themes in it, even better, that you could take this person to. For example, maybe a local theater is doing a Christmas Carol that year, or if you happen to live anywhere in the vicinity, close-ish to Pennsylvania, or want to make a trip, or Missouri is the other location, I highly, highly recommend you check out Sight and Sound Theater. Sight and Sound is a Christian theater company where they create their own musical productions. And I mean productions. These are incredible. I mean, honestly, just as good as Broadway. And the theater that they have is set up in such a way where it's almost a 360 theater where there are things happening on all sides of you. The sets that they create, the costume design, all of the music is written for these performances, and they're all books of the Bible. They are Bible stories come to life, and they are so good. I went to see Esther. That was a gift that I got from my husband for 1 year for my birthday or Christmas, and absolutely loved it. And then last year, we actually gave tickets to Ben's parents and my dad and took them to see David, which was phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure this year in Pennsylvania, the production that they are doing is going to be Joshua. And so that might be something that we plan to get again this year, even though it definitely is on the pricier end because it is a very high-end, nice theater experience, again, akin to Broadway. I think that it is worth that kind of investment for us because of the story that it's telling and the experience that we then get to share and reflect on. You all know that memory keeping is important to me, which means making experiences, meaningful experiences, is important to me. And that is something that Sight and Sound definitely provides. If you want something that is a little bit more budget friendly, my recommendation would be to get the person in your life movie tickets to a Christian film. And one that is coming out this Christmas season is David by Angel Studios. So that might be a really great one to check out. And speaking of Angel Studios, I want to then pivot to some subscription services that would make phenomenal gifts. And Angel Studios is a subscription similar to Amazon Prime or Netflix, but it's all Christian content pointing to the light of Jesus in some way or fashion, or it's just very wholesome content. You know that when you put on Angel Studios, you don't need to be concerned about having kids in the room, and you know that you're going to get a really great story. Some of my favorites that we have watched on Angel Studios are Cabrini. That was probably my favorite. I loved Cabrini so very much. Highly recommend. They also have kids shows on there as well. The Wingfeather Saga, I know, is on there. I've never read it. It's a book series and I've never seen the show, but if you have little ones, it might be something worth checking out as well, or sharing again with somebody in your life who is looking for more Christian content to be able to enjoy and wants to get away from some of the more secular, questionable content that is available elsewhere. And then the final subscription recommendation that I have is actually Spotify. Now, this very easily could be a gift for anybody. It's not Christian specific, but the reason I recommend it on this list and as a current favorite is because I love that I can listen to audiobooks now on Spotify through my premium membership. And I'm able to listen to a lot of Christian nonfiction on Spotify, lots of new releases, and it's just so convenient and easy. I can just pick a book and play it as I'm walking the dog. It's wonderful. And then, of course, there are just so many Christian playlists that either are already created or that I have created for myself to enjoy. And the thing with worship music is once you're in the zone of worshiping and just praising God, the last thing you want is an ad to start playing and interrupt your time with God and get you distracted and thinking of worldly things. I just want to stay in the zone with my music, especially when I'm like in a meditative prayer state. I just want to listen to the music and not be interrupted by ads. And for that reason, I think Spotify would be a great gift for someone this Christmas. Obviously, giving something like a subscription is not the same as actually receiving a tangible gift. So, what I would recommend is that you get a book like the Hosanna in Excelsis, again, can't say it, and then have a note inside the book that says you're also gifting them a Spotify premium account for an annual membership, for example, for a year. Or another great idea would be to purchase one of Patsy Shaw's beautiful hymn prints and then give them the hymn prints along with a note that says you are gifting them a Spotify premium membership. So I think that would be a fantastic gift idea. And then the final gift idea I want to share with you that also is a subscription service is not going to be a surprise if you've been with me for a while, because it's a little bit of self-promotion, and that is to talk about my Patreon and specifically the Abiding Faith tier on my Patreon, which you can join either monthly or right now you can join for an annual membership at a discount. So it is a great time to join us as we get ready for the new year. And when you become a member or when you gift a membership to somebody in your life, you or they will get immediate access to everything that is already there. Not only the Abiding Faith content, but also all of the other printable stickers and tons of other things that I have available on my Patreon. If you love journaling and creating, it is fantastic. But even if you just want the Abiding Faith content, I have some Bible study stickers over on there, including one for Ephesians, for example. You can see me using some of those stickers here in my growth book. I also have this page with the prayer sticker, a little verse here that says, "Be strong in the Lord." All of those are stickers that are a part of the Ephesians sticker collection. There also is a sticker kit for the Psalms with lots of scripture and verses and illustrations to help you document your study in the Psalms. And every month I create a faith add-on sheet to accompany whatever the theme for the current sticker kit is that I'm creating that month. I create an additional sticker sheet that is just faith related. So for example, the most recent sticker kit that we just published was a book club theme. And then for the Abiding Faith tier, they got a faith add-on sheet that is Christian book related. So it's all about reading clean romances, no spice, for example, or just why it's important to read books as a Christian. There's a great quote about how we should always visit great books, but we should live in the Bible by Charles Spurgeon. So that is something, again, you get access to as soon as you join. And then we're always creating new ones every single month. And on most Fridays or Sundays, sometimes I do a Faith Friday post where it is essentially a blog style post or a casual sit down video where I'm just sharing an update on what I'm currently reading or something I learned or I'm thinking about, or a picture of my sermon notes from that week. So it's a great way to just keep in touch with all things related to my faith life and hopefully give you some encouragement along the way. So I would love for you to consider joining us. You can learn even more over on my Patreon. And the link to gift a membership will be available for you as well if you think that is something that will interest somebody in your life. So there you have it, friends. That is my list of all the things that I personally am currently enjoying or wanted to just share with you as recommendations for what you might consider giving to a Christian in your life, or of course, adding to your own wish list, all with the understanding that none of these things are the ultimate point. It is all about this one right here, abiding in Jesus. So I hope that is something that you will be reflecting on and doing this Christmas season, really slowing down and abiding in Him. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know if any of these items are going to make its way onto your wish list, or if you have recommendations for others. We would love to hear your ideas in the comments as well. Please do head over to Hope's video and watch that next for even more ideas. I will have it linked for you right here. Or if you want even more gift ideas from my past videos, you can check them out here. Do make sure you check out all of the links by heading over to my Patreon. And until next time, I hope that you have a very Merry Christmas.